the entertaining Talkin' Sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another video as more and more news continues to come out today in a slow sports time of the year. At least we're getting some free agency news. And news has come out about a trade a couple of hours ago. A bunch of my subscribers told me to make a video giving my opinion on it, of Calais Campbell being traded from the Jacksonville Jaguars to the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the compensation in this trade, the Jaguars will receive a 5th-round pick for the defensive tackle, which is not a very, big price tag. But what I see in Jacksonville is clearly evident. I'll get more into it as the video progresses. But they're a rebuilding football team, and they're trying to get rid of their pieces, which begs the question, will they now look to trade Yannick Ngakoue? I thought the second they tagged him, Ngakoue was going to be traded. Now, he will only be traded if they could find a suitable trade partner. But to me, at this point in time for the Jaguars, it makes no sense to keep Yannick Ngakoue. You're clearly not a team looking to contend, at least in my opinion. You have a guy on your roster that you'd only have under salary for 1 more year. He's not happy there. He's going to be less happy when there's less talent there. It's also going to affect his market value with getting rid of players like Campbell. It's going to make it so teams take him out of the defense. They'll double and triple team him when you get rid of all these good pieces. So I don't think Ngakoue is going to want to play there. He will not be happy if he does, and I see the Jaguars looking to move this guy. Now, the question is, will the New York Giants be that team that looks to acquire him? And that's the question you got to ask yourself. You also got to ask yourself, what's the asking price, right? There's been numerous people talking about the Giants trading down from 4 to 9 and making a move that way. There's been rumors with the Indianapolis Colts, a bunch of other teams. I'm sure somebody will look to get Ngakoue. If I had to guess, it will not be the Giants. If I had to guess, it would be a team that's more of a win-now team, similar to the Baltimore Ravens. Now, in regards to this trade, I think it makes sense for both parties. And some people may say it's crazy the Jaguars only got a 5th-round pick, but think about Snacks Harrison with the New York Giants. Everybody knew that Snacks Harrison did not fit the timeline of the team. The New York Giants were a rebuilding team. They had an aging veteran who was making a lot of money. They wanted to get him off their cap. They got what they could. They got a 5th-round pick. It's the same thing here. The Jacksonville Jaguars are a rebuilding football team. They wanted to get rid of that cap space. They knew Campbell, being 33 years old, I think he's going to be 34 next year, did not fit the direction of this team. From a Baltimore Ravens perspective, you're getting a guy who I think makes $15 million a year. They're working on an extension, I think, for about $15, $16, $17 million a year, whatever it is, over 2 years. But regardless, you're getting a guy that could help your defense. You're a team that was this close, to go into the Super Bowl last year. They had a great regular season. You bring back Judon. Hopefully they keep him if you're a Ravens fan. They don't trade him. But it looks like they're trying to win now. Now, I'm not 100% sure of their cap situation. Didn't do a lot of research there. But for the Ravens, it makes a ton of sense. This is the type of player that can make your defense that much better and put your team over the top. Calais Campbell is a very productive pro. He was a double-digit sack getter just a few years ago. One of the better defensive tackles in the sport and incredibly durable. But let's jump into some of the notes about this trade. And I also wanted to touch on the Devin McCourty situation. I'll talk about that briefly as well, being that the New York Giants were potentially linked to McCourty. Well, now word is coming out about the New England Patriots making a strong push to keep McCourty in New England. Here is the tweet on Campbell. Sources, the Jaguars are trading defensive lineman Calais Campbell to the Ravens when the league year begins, per me and Tom Pelissero. The most recent Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year winner is on the move as the Jags clear cap space and Baltimore stocks up. And like I said, doesn't say it in that tweet, but it was reported by several others that it will be a 5th-round pick. In terms of what the Ravens are getting, I mean, the model of consistency. The guy has not missed a game in the last 5 years. He started 16 games each of the last 5 seasons. An incredibly productive player. I think he was ranked one of the best players in the sport last year. And you look at his double-digit sacks back-to-back years in 17 and 18. He was an All-Pro in 17 with 14 and a half sacks as an interior defensive lineman. 10 and a half sacks in 18 last year. He had 6.5. Is a great player. He's going to add a lot to that Baltimore defense. And if you're a Ravens fan, you're getting a guy who's made 4 out of the last 5 Pro Bowls and the last 3. He is up there in age. He'll be 34 next year, but certainly a guy that you could stick in there at the interior or even exterior part of the line. He's going to get after the quarterback, and a very, very strong get by the Baltimore Ravens. I love the fit, but the Jaguars got what they could get, a team trying to relieve salary cap space. This is what Yannick had to say in response to the trade. Short and simple. We all know that he loves to let out his opinion on Twitter in regards, and I'm assuming it's in regards to the trade of Calais Campbell. It came out right after. He wrote, "Not surprised." And Ngakoue continues to show he's not happy in Jacksonville. This was an interesting tweet that came out from NFL Update regarding some of the defensive players that this team has gotten rid of, and it just goes to show you that this team is in clear rebuild mode. And I continue to harp on the fact that if they get an offer for Ngakoue, I think they're going to trade him. The thing is, they might not have as much leverage as some people may think because everybody knows this team is looking to get rid of pieces now, right? After trading Campbell, they traded AJ Boye for something that was not that high of a package. I think it was a 4th-round pick. You might be able to get Ngakoue for a 2nd-round pick, and that may open up the market for a lot of teams. But just look at this roster from just as recently as I think it was 3 years ago, they went to the AFC Championship game. All these players are gone from that defense. Jalen Ramsey, AJ Boye, Calais Campbell, Dante Fowler, Marcel Darius, Malik Jackson, Aaron Colvin, Tayshaun Gibson, Barry Church, plus Yannick Ngakoue once out, Telvin Smith away from the team. So that's literally their entire defense from 3 years ago is basically off the team. So just goes to show you that they're in clear rebuild mode, trying to clear up that cap space and get younger. In addition to that, I just wanted to speak briefly about Devin McCourty, the safety, who's formerly from New Jersey. He's a hometown kid. He's been rumored to wanting to come back and play with the New York Giants potentially if the Patriots were to let him go. He was rumored a couple of years ago when he was a free agent as well. The Giants could use some veteran leadership in that secondary. Was graded out as one of the better safeties in football last year. He is up there in age. I think he's 32, but on like a 3-year deal, he could potentially make sense and could have been a guy that the New York Giants were looking at and still could be if the Patriots do not bring him back. But word has come out from Zach Cox regarding the Patriots. With his brother already aboard for the upcoming season, the Patriots reportedly are working hard to re-sign safety Devin McCourty. Now, my guess is if that is the case and the Patriots want him back, I would think they're going to get a deal done. I don't think McCourty is going to break the bank. I think he's a veteran leader on that team. He's proven he could play very well in that system. They have a lot of respect for him. Been one of the better players on that defense for quite some time. Played very well last year. It's a winning situation for him. I don't see him leaving the Patriots if it's the same amount of money, a place he's been in his entire career, to come to the New York Giants. I just don't see that being the case. So if the Patriots want to keep him, I expect him to remain in New England. But we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. In regards to the trade, yeah, I think Baltimore did a great thing here by bringing in Calais Campbell. I think the Jaguars got what they could, and they cleared salary cap space, similar to what we did when we traded Damon Snacks Harrison. As far as Ngakoue goes, well, we're going to have to wait and see how it all plays out. I still say that he will be traded at some point in time. I could be wrong, but it doesn't make sense. It's not a place where he wants to be. They're not a team that's trying to compete right now. I don't see him being there long term. I see Yannick Ngakoue being off the Jaguars sooner than later. Question is, what's going to be the asking price and which team is willing to pay it? As always, guys, if you like what you watch, please subscribe. Drop a comment. Maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.